Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today, we're talking about NAKD Brand Group once more. Now, I did make a video about this, or actually a series of them previously, but today we're going to be specifically talking about the reverse merger, or basically how Nasdaq's NAKD Brand Group is acting like a reverse merger SPAC stock or a SPAC holder. So for this one here, if you haven't heard about them, they were specializing in specialist intimate apparels and swimwear for e-commerce. They divested out of that basically through their selling off Bendon Groups and a bunch of other divestments that happened. And they're taking their capital and trying to do a reverse merger with an ESG company, or basically specializing in an EV kind of situation going on. So the NAKD Brand Group completes acquisition of Centro Automotive Group. So with over $250 million in cash, the company is strategically positioned and well capitalized to accelerate sales and scale production. Centro reaffirms its 2022 delivery guidance to deliver a minimum of at least 20,000 vehicles. Now, the combined company will be led by Peter Wang, Centro's chairman and CEO, and the rest of the Centro's current executive team. So basically, honestly, all it sounded like was the current shareholders are just going to take a share of the new company, putting it into the stock market, and whether they sell or hold, that's their own business at this point, but they're really kind of divesting their own hands out of it. Now, they did also mention a couple of paragraphs here before I move on to other things. We believe that today's milestone, combined with our unique EV technology, will help us accelerate the delivery of our commercial electrical vehicles and take a significant share of approximately $2.1 billion EV sales forecast by 2023, said the CEO of the new company. Since 2013, Centro has produced and delivered over 3,600 commercial electric vehicles. We expect significant growth over the next 5 years. Today's transaction provides us with the working capital necessary to support our substantial backlog and to finance our plans to scale production in 2022 through new facilities in Jacksonville, Florida, and in Germany, Dusseldorf. We expect our recently announced US-based 100,000 square foot tool capacity assembly facility in Jacksonville, Florida, to provide a strong foundation for our long-term growth. Not only do we design and produce unique EV technology, but Centro has proven that it has been able to produce and deliver a growing number of commercial EVs that are being used in the leading consumer companies. In December 2021, we produced over 600 of our newly launched Logistar 200 or LS200 or light urban delivery vehicles purpose-built to navigate European streets, our highest volume in a single month to date. With our IP and the ability to design and produce innovative electrical vehicles that address that need of growing market demand, we are also positioned to scale our decentralized production model, which we expect to allow us to grow production at a lower average cost than other EV companies. The board of CAG would like to thank you and NAKD Brand for the successful completion of this transaction. Now, Justin Davis Rice, this is basically one of the most prominent people known from NAKD Brand Group and the previous CEO. We congratulate the team, blah, 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 look forward to collaborating with the company and strategically position itself to achieve its growth objectives. Now, we do have some information under Nasdaq Trader itself. So the current effect of the split would happen for 1 to 15. Basically, each 15 of your shares will be counted towards one new share of CUSIP. The price point might actually, or most likely, would be increasing as well. But yeah, they will be doing a reverse split that will become effective December 22nd in conjunction with the reverse split for CUSIP number, and they changed the number here. So there is a part of a reason why this one is currently trading at 536. It's the 115 reverse split. Now, the other thing here is that the current company name is changed officially on January 3rd, 2022, tomorrow, and will be trading under still NAKD. It says there will not be a change of trading symbol or CUSIP. So my anticipation is that it will still be under NAKD. Now, whether that will change in the next couple of months or so, I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen that piece of information. If you have, mention it down in the comments below for others to see. But basically, the company has changed its name starting tomorrow. Institutional buyers, it's a little bit mixed. I mean, majority of it is additions in the second half of November. In the first half, there was dispositions of shares. So Centro has a unique type of vehicles. So it really has more of a diverse kind of type of EV vehicles that really try to diversify into last mile deliveries, whether it is through the Metro, which is convenient multi-purpose transaction vehicles suitable for city logistics and services, or for instance the LS200 that they talked about, and the 400 or the Neighbor 200. So this is the 400. The 200 is a more compact. The 400 is a class 4 vehicle designed to service the last mile urban delivery market. The Logistar 200 is an N1 class urban delivery vehicles mainly designed for the European market. And you have the Neighbor 200 and the ORV. So the Neighbor 200 looks something like this. It looks like more of a pickup truck with more of just a pack in the back to store stuff. So competitive price, multi-purpose electric truck. So that is one of their other competitions for the LS200. And then you got the ORV, which is basically an all off-terrain kind of vehicle, mainly for instance, something like parks and recreations use. Now they do have news, for instance. Centro produces and delivery the first Logistar 200 light urban delivery electric vehicles to the European markets. And we do have previous news as well, for instance, like them participating in the CES 2022. Before moving on towards technical analysis, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button and leave notifications on for this channel, and also don't forget to drop a like. Now, from a technical analysis, we can't do 1 day or 1 week just because of the reverse split and kind of things don't work that way, at least with this kind of platform in general. But on the 1 day, we're going to at least be anticipating the next few days and kind of see where the pulse goes. So first off, on December 28th, 29th, the stock price was around $5. It jumped in the aftermarket all the way to $6.73, hitting a nice jump and then more of slided downwards. And it does really show that a lot of people aren't really as interested in this new EV kind of venture. They're not getting basically a Lucid Motor vibe. They're not getting a Tesla vibe. They're getting just a Solo kind of vibe. And do you remember what happened to Solo? I mean, Solo had its jumps and dumps, or pumps and dumps, but if you take a look into Solo, in a 6-month period, we've seen exactly what happened to Solo SPAC. It really dropped significantly in price. Hopefully this doesn't happen, but so it kind of gives me more of Solo vibes, but it also tries to work towards that last mile vehicles for the European market. So it has a very specific kind of function for this company. I do think that they might actually reach things, but again, they are trying to go into a field that is not untapped. There's still competitors on there. And so that's why there's a bit of hesitation for previous Naked Brand Group shareholders to either increase their position or keep their position. So you see some selling going on and not a lot of attention happening from the retail side in terms of this massive next EV kind of push, but rather than an entire different company that they're losing interest in. And that is a bit of a dangerous thing for the stock price. What we get to see here is that the moving averages is actually all bearish now on the 1 hour versus where it was bullish earlier on at the end of the year. So around 28th, 29th, 30th. Now, in terms of the moving average bands and everything, we'll cover that in a second, but we don't have much of that data. But William %R shows it's more oversold than overbought in terms of today. Momentum is still negative, but with MACD momentum, it shows that a bullish reversal could be temporarily there. In terms of stochastic fast and stochastic slow, if we were to take a look at it into 1 hour perspective, it does show that this might be a good time to buy for a quick kind of trade. But in terms of holding it for long term, things are a lot more challenging than you can just easily anticipate it. The stock price is anticipated to trade between 593 and 520 in the Bollinger Bands. That's the Bollinger Bands, and the moving average bands are between 612 and 501. Now, charting. We could do Fibonacci retracements between the 675 and the 495, but there are some key resistances. 539 is one, 550 is another, and then going to around 570 and 565, that's kind of a range. 584, 596, going up higher to 617, 628, 643, 665, and 675. Supports. Currently, 535 seems to be somewhat where it is right now with the support, 531 and then 528. Those all can be lumped into a range support. 517 is one below, and then 508 going down to 501 and around 495. Comes to the question, Ed, what do you think is going to happen here? Well, for this company, they're fully moving on. And after only coming in from 2018, the company raised a lot of money. They have a lot of capital. And it really showcased that they try to move that capital into an EV. I'm guessing because it's kind of is more of a bubble and they're trying to tap into this bubble and they're looking at Tesla and Lucid Motors. But they really need to take a look at other stocks that are similar in terms of what they're merging into, and then consider whether you want to follow suit with that or not. So there is some companies that did have that. So Solo is one. They didn't really do good with that concept, even though this one, NAKD currently is trying to go for the European market. Another one, I believe it was Workhorse. Workhorse does another one. And Workhorse did slide in price from around $18.59 to around $4. But people are usually looking, when they're looking at EV, they're looking at Tesla, they're looking at Lucid, but you got to remember, they're not selling more of luxury brands, kind of sedans and SUVs. They're selling more of similar things to Workhorse, to Solo. Basically, that is the field they're in rather than the others. So we got to compare from there. What do you think about this sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.